Good morning, everybody. This is Graham Judd. Wanted to talk a little bit today about wins and losses in EMS. I read an article not too long ago that was basically posing the question, do we make a difference? And the author of the article argues that more often than not, our interventions don't actually make a difference in the outcome of the patient. And I beg to differ. You know, when we run a stroke, is there anything in particular that we do? Most agencies don't push TPA on a stroke. Obviously, if it's a bleed, there's nothing that we can do in the back of the ambulance for him. Is there anything directly that we do that has an impact on that patient's outcome? Yeah, as a matter of fact, there is. I had a call the other day where if I hadn't have been there, the patient probably would have gone home, because even with me there, the wife wanted to take the patient home and put a rag on his head. Had I not been there to identify the stroke, to establish emergency transport, to get the patient into CT, to give a handoff report to the neurologist and to the nurse, there's a really good chance that he would be dead today. But he's not. Now, what did I do during transport? I started an IV, I did cardiac monitoring, all of that. But where I made my difference was by being there with the expertise and the training to identify a condition that nobody else was able to identify. I had a patient not too long ago that I intubated. 3 days later, she's out and walking around and doing well. That's clearly a situation where I did do something that made a difference. I had a pediatric that I had to bag the other day, went into respiratory arrest. She's alive today because of what I did. Now, this is all within like the last 3 weeks, folks. You know, most of the people that we transport aren't actively dying in the first place, but those who are impacted directly because of you and because of what you do. So if you're struggling with, is this the right job? Do I make a difference? Is this the right thing? How much of an impact do I have? Trust me when I tell you, you have an impact and you make a difference. I was talking to someone not too long ago, and they told me they had 230 something losses over the course of X number of years. So I asked the question, well, how many wins do you have? And they couldn't tell me because they didn't know. A lot of times we look at it as when we win, when we have a save, we look at it as, well, that's me doing my job. Yeah, that's true. That's us doing our job. That's what we're supposed to do. But why do we look on the negative side of things? Why don't we look on the positive side of things? Why don't we look at all of the times that we actually made a difference? Even a lift assist makes a difference. It's not an emergency until it's your butt in the floor that can't get up. And if you weren't there at that time to help them up, Lord knows how long they would actually have sat there. You make a difference. When you go to work, do everything that you can for your patients. Treat them with respect, treat them with dignity. I don't care what their situation is, what their status is. I hope that you treat the homeless guy with the same courtesy and respect that you would treat the millionaire out of the most affluent neighborhood. So that when you go home at the end of the shift, you can know that you have done every single thing for every single patient. Don't get complacent. Granted, if there's an elephant in the room, it's probably the elephant. But never fail to dig, never fail to investigate, never fail to obtain an adequate history. Always look at their medications, always find out their allergies. Do absolutely everything that you can. Do more 12 leads than you feel necessary. Because when you go home at the end of the shift, it's not about how many you lost. That's out of your hands. There's nothing you can do. You need to be able to go home knowing that you gave it 100% every single shift, every single time. And you will lose some. But if you start counting, I promise you're going to have more wins than losses. God bless you guys. Have a great day.